Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. Now, wow, Nigerians, something is really happening, and we need to really check and be sure for exactly what is going on. Nigerians have been reacting to Buhari's speech, so-called speech, since Monday when he tell us, say, he won't read speech. Early in the morning, they don't tell us message, say, may we look out for Buhari want to read speech. Everybody be prepared so you can hear the speech. 7 p.m. apparently now recorded speech they make us hear. They say they won't tell us real speech, but apparently not be real speech. Now recorded speech where we say all Nigerians see through the disguise and the lies the governments were trying to make us see. Other Nigerians, including past senators and House of Rep members, have been questioning. Even today, I made a news. If you look at, if you go through my previous news, you will see that Soyinka also said the President Act was unnecessarily. So today, let's go to the news and hear more from what is going on and Buhari's action. This guy might be in trouble, but let's go to the news. Osinbajo questioning lockdown order unnecessarily. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo Monday said questioning the legitimacy of the presidential order restricting movement in the Federal Capital Territory, Lagos and Ogun State was unnecessarily, as the action taken was not only important but backed by extended Nigerian laws. President Muhammadu Buhari has on Sunday ordered the lockdown of the Federal Capital Territory, Lagos, Ogun, beginning from 11 p.m. Monday to start the coffee, to stop and to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the country. The declaration and prompt debate over the constitutional rights of the president's action has been on, about, and on. But here we are hearing you hear president, you hear vice president. I don't want to talk anything. May we continue the news first. A statement by senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Office of the Vice President, Laolu Akinde, said Osinbajo spoke in Abuja while responding to questions at the Google Handle program organized by Hack COVID-19, called Center a private sector initiative supporting Nigerians' battles against the pandemic. According to the Vice President, regarding the legitimacy of the shutdown announcement by the President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday, I think it is entirely legal. These steps are proactive, very relevant, important, backed by law. Yemi, what do you mean backed by law? He's supposed to just go ahead and just take order without the House deciding. Besides, according to Nigerian Constitution, every governor has a right to their state, just like when the person of Godwin Obaseki has the right to suspend the person of Oshomole, although not the national chairman. From House, Kiosa Woten, he was suspended. And guess what? He first can take play. So what you know now your neighbor take better pass you. What you not pay attention to pay attention to make sure say you understand that. Now your neighbor take better pass you. So we need to be careful and we need to pay attention. Yeah, the vice president is saying is actually legit and it's very legal what the president has done. In fact, supporting the president. But we need to wake up. We need to really look into this matter. We get lawyers in our midst. We get people when they know about the law and about the constitution. I know Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is a professor. So may we look into this thing may we not just talk blindly. Let's be very objective here. And let us speak the truth without trying to call white black or black white. Okay? Let's continue with the news. I'm not so sure some of the people who are commended on the issue have come across the Quarantine Act. There is a Quarantine Act of 1926. It's been published in all of the laws of Nigeria, even edition of the laws of Nigeria. It is right here as I speak. referring specifically to the part of the legislation that empowers the president to order movement restriction in any part of the country. Professor Yemi Osinbajo said, what the act it does is that it allows the president to designate any local area, any part of the country, as a part that may be infected or under the threat of a communicable disease, and it can then make regulations of any kind. For instance, he can say people should not go out, no public gathering, etc. So it is a regulation that gives the president power, and this power comes from the National Assembly because, of course, it is an act of the National Assembly. The statement said Osinbajo later explained that by virtue of the constitutional rights, the 1926 Act was deemed to be an act of the National Assembly. So, the president has extensive power under the Quarantine Act of 1926. Also, governors have extensive power under the same Quarantine Act, he said. Osinbajo urged all interested individuals and groups to personally go through the legislation in order to understand the provision therein, noting that it is barely a one-page legislation. So it is not particularly difficult to find the relevant provision, and it is not particularly difficult to read. Very straightforward. So the president has the power to speak on quarantine. Speaking further about the legal precedent of the President's declaration, Osinbajo recalled the influenza pandemic of 1918, also referred to as the Spanish flu, which killed thousands in Nigeria and millions across the world. The vice president said, many of us are not familiar with the influenza pandemic that killed several millions around the world in 1918. At that time, regulations were made here very similar to what we have today, although that was under the colonial authority. They also banned public gathering, banned gathering in places of worship then. So there is even good historical precedence for some of what is happening now in our current day and time. Now, so now don't hear Osinbajo, don't come out now say the matter one at the hear is not out of place, it's not out of line, it's not out of order. It say, in fact, it's within the presidential jurisdiction to be able to call for a lockdown if he feels that there is a pandemic that is threatening life and of the Nigerian citizens. He said then they said this kind of thing don't happen before, and it did under the Act of 1918. Say something like this has happened before 1926, where Osinbajo say Buhari get right to say someone has stopped to the talk. Meanwhile, while Osinbajo they talk that matter, other Nigerians has gone ahead to say, well, we not feel say Buhari get that right to behave in that manner or in that capacity. There are areas that calls for so what is the purpose of the House of Legislation and what is the purpose of these people? So these are some of the matter now when they ask us say we need to decide, because going forward this man fit sit down on top this and take it, and just take laws into his hands and begin to act in that well and in that capacity. They say Osinbajo not supposed to act like that, and Buhari not supposed to act like that and make Osinbajo not support him to do bad thing. So now the matter where they reach us be this, now the matter where we iron out to say Nigerians, especially those that have knowledge of the law, what do you think? Do you think Osinbajo has acted accordingly? Do you think he should have, he should have been able to, he should have reasoned with the people, or he has spoken with Nigerians' mind? So now the matter where they grand be this. So at Apple Line Media, we keep you up to date with all that is going on in Nigeria and around the world. I want you to know that you have a voice. Please use it. Leave out your comment. Let us know what you think about this matter. Please don't hesitate to like and share, and as far and as much as well, I beg you thumbs up for your girl. If you never subscribe, I beg subscribe. It's very important so that we can continue to do what we are doing. We appreciate you a great deal. Thanks for being there. Your presence makes it worthwhile. Not forget, say you're subscribing, liking, and sharing is always supporting us, and we truly, truly, really, really appreciate them. Thank you very much. Not forget to thumbs up for your girl. So the matter be, not forget, I beg my people. God bless you. Have a good day.